Q106.7 weather.
Here's your KQNK forecast. Mainly clear skies today with daytime highs approaching 80. Winds out of the south 10 to 20 miles per hour. Lows level off around 46. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Bright sunshine expected tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 75. Ample sunshine and dry Thursday and Friday. Upper 60s Thursday, mid 70s by Friday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Laura Lockwood. Currently 30.
Kansas Information Network News. I'm Jen Austin. Marissa Reaver earned national recognition after receiving a top scholarship from the Technicians of Tomorrow Foundation.
Representing Fort Hays Tech North Central, she was honored at Vision KC, America's second largest automotive event. Her award includes full access to training, hotel accommodations, and $1,000 towards tuition. Reaver is one of only 4 students nationwide to receive it. This marks the 4th straight year Fort Hays Tech North Central has produced a winner, highlighting the school's strong automotive training program. I'm J.P. Bazette.
A doctor from the Kansas City, Kansas area is in trouble in a kickback scheme. Dr. Scott Taggart-Rothley pleaded guilty to 1 count of healthcare fraud in federal court late last week. The Hutchinson Post said he admitted that from 2017 until 2020, he conspired to order medically unnecessary supplies for thousands of patients in exchange for hundreds of thousands of dollars in kickbacks. His sentencing is set for July 17th. And this is Kansas Information Network News.
The word father means a lot to me. Being that support system for them, and as a man, that's important in a child's life. I think men can be a little stubborn sometimes where they may want the help, they may not know how to ask. It's hard for a man to speak his emotions. Those tears, they mean something. In a Arapaho way, tears are water and water is life. And when you shed those tears, that's love. That's real love. Sometimes as dads, I think we're too hard on ourselves. Life can come at you really quick, and it can be really tough at times. But then you put that one foot in front of the other, and you keep doing the right thing. Slowly that voice goes away, you know. Arapaho way, you gotta pray for yourself, as well as for everybody else, but never forget yourself.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Good morning, I'm Natalie Hadley with your KQNK News. Brought to you by Firebolt Ag, LLC, serving all of your chemical and fertilizer needs. Governor Kelly signed House Bill 2107, which provides for a process for Kansans to recover economic damages from wildfires and other fire events caused by electric public utilities. The bill creates a legal framework for Kansans to seek compensation for damages caused by a utility provider's fire, and claims under the bill must be brought forth within 2 years of the date of the damage. The bill also requires the Kansas Corporation Commission to convene a workshop on wildfire risks, utility readiness to mitigate wildfires, risk mitigation strategies, and cost recovery for the impacts caused by wildfires. Governor Kelly said Kansas is no stranger to the risks and impacts of wildfires, so the changes included in the bill will help better prepare utility companies to identify and mitigate wildfire risks. She said by taking reasonable measures, they can better protect Kansans and provide a path to recover from the financial impacts of wildfires. All Northwest Kansas counties were at or below 4% unemployment in February, which was on par for below statewide numbers. The unemployment rates in local counties include in Decatur County 3.7%, Sheridan County 2.4%, Graham County 4.1%, Phillips County 3.3%, and Norton County 3.1%. Preliminary estimates reported by the Labor Market Information Division of the Kansas Department of Labor and the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed a seasonally adjusted unemployment rate of 3.8% in February statewide. This is unchanged from 3.8% in January and an increase from 3.2% in February 2024. And the labor force participation rate for Kansas decreased to 67.2% in February. Seasonally adjusted job estimates for Kansas indicate total non-farm payroll employment increased by 1,100 from January, and total non-farm includes private sector and government employers, with private sector jobs decreasing by 500 over the month and government jobs increasing by 1,600. Kansas wheat producers are encouraged to scout their best fields for entries in the 2025 National Wheat Yield Contest. And now in its 10th year, the National Wheat Foundation's contest offers producers a chance to win prizes and learn from other producers across the country on how to maximize their management to improve yields and quality. The contest includes 4 main categories: dryland winter wheat, irrigated winter wheat, dryland spring wheat, and irrigated spring wheat. Contest fields must be at least 5 continuous acres, planted with professionally produced, certified, branded, newly purchased wheat seed. All contestants must retain a 10-pound bag of grain for shipment and quality testing, and if an entry places nationally, that sample will be milled, baked, and evaluated by a panel of industry experts. The top 3 yield entries in each category by state will be recognized, and national winners will be recognized and awarded with a cash award, along with the travel and registration expenses to attend the 2026 Commodity Classic in February in San Antonio, Texas. A new highlight for 2025 is the expansion of a digital yield plot category, which is open to Kansas producers who raise dryland winter wheat. Producers can enter the category using digital technologies such as the John Deere Operations Center, Climate Field Viewer, or Bushel, alongside calibrated grain cart scale data to submit yields from a designated 20-acre area, and producers can enter up to 3 fields in this category. Growers must submit entries by March 15, 2025 for winter wheat categories, August 1, 2025 for spring wheat categories, and harvest data is due by October 1, 2025. Entries must be completed online at wheatcontest.org, and each entry costs $100. However, sponsoring partners have entry fee vouchers available. All entrants must be a member of a state wheat grower association, like the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers or the National Association of Wheat Growers. And to find more information or enter the 2025 National Wheat Yield Contest, you can visit wheatcontest.org. In Nebraska news on Monday, 54-year-old Casey Kent of Seward was arraigned in Seward County District Court on a charge of first-degree murder and 5 other felony counts, and Kent pled not guilty to all charges in the death of his ex-girlfriend. Authorities reported that on February 8th, Kent broke into the Seward home of 36-year-old Jamie Hagan and shot her at least 4 times, and he then turned the gun on himself and was critically wounded. According to court records, Hagan had a protection order against Kent, and Hagan died at the scene, and a child was in the home during the shooting, locked herself in a bedroom until officers arrived. In addition to first-degree murder, Kent is charged with burglary, child abuse, and 3 weapons violations. He's due back in court on July 3rd. On Monday, Governor Jim Pillen signed a letter of intent seeking to ban the purchase of pop and energy drinks with government grocery benefits, and the governor's office called it an immediate step aimed at improving the health and wellness of Nebraskans. Governor Pillen said he's asking the U.S. Department of Agriculture for a waiver taking pop and energy drinks off of the list of available items under the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, commonly called food stamps, and the governor cited a study by the University of Nebraska that shows 7 out of 10 Nebraskans are obese. Steve Corsi, the director of the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services, said pop made up the largest category of items purchased with SNAP benefits at over 9%, with Governor Pillen saying the last time he checked, pop is not a food group. Pillen said Nebraska is leading the way in making people healthier. I'll be back with more in just a moment.
Firebolt Ag is a full-service fertilizer and chemical retailer. They customize products for individual farmers' needs, with the primary focus being customer profitability. Let Josh and Jack help you get the most out of your farm ground. They also provide in-house marketing with Ron Wall of Flatwater Solutions. Visit Ron in Phillipsburg or call Josh at 785-854-8484 or Jack at 308-840-2819. Firebolt Ag, your leader in agriculture.
Now we'll hear from Fig Millen and Norton head golf coach David Stover to update on the team and their tournaments today.
I'm here with head golf coach David Stover. Coach, it's a new season for you, and something surprising for you that you're seeing 24 squad members on your team this year. Let's go break that down a little bit and returning starters, and let's talk about a little bit about this squad.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest squads we've had in a few years, so it's been great to see. So far, you're right, we have 24 people out. Breakdown, we have 10 seniors, and we have 4 juniors, 5 sophomores, 5 freshmen. As far as returners, we have 3 returning lettermen. Eli Jones was a fifth place in state last year, 3-time qualifier. So obviously we're looking forward to see what he can do. Trevin Enfield was a state qualifier as a sophomore. And Gavin Braun, and that's our returning lineup. So I'm really pleased with what we're going to be starting the season with as far as returning players. I think we have a lot of people working to fight for varsity spots, for JV spots. So obviously when you have 24 players, you've got a lot of people working for a lot of spots. But I really like where we're at right now.
You mentioned some other kids that have been on the squad, and like you said, you've had them in years past, and then some are stepping up, like Gavin, and then, of course, your junior varsity has got several on there, too.
Yeah, we really do. A lot of people are fighting for a lot of spots. We talked about we're going to have some guys that are going to get some of their first experience ever for varsity golf, for varsity and JV golf here on Tuesday, so I'm really excited to see how we do there. We've got people like Rowan Granberry, Jeffrey Fick have played for us before. Riley Lanier's played for us in the past. So I'm really kind of excited to see where we go. And like I said, we have some new faces this year, and we'll see how they do as well.
One of the biggest things here is your senior class, and it's probably the biggest senior class that you've had.
By far, there's no question. Usually it works the other way around. Usually the bigger classes are the freshmen, sophomores. As they go on, they kind of they find out whether they want to stay with it or not. This year it's been a big class for us, and then we've had a couple more decide they want to try to come out, and they've been really great. They're learning every day, making progress every day. I couldn't be happier with it.
Your practices, some nice days, some not so nice days, but let's talk a little bit about your practices. Are you seeing a lot of competition or a lot of learning on the course?
I think we're seeing a lot of both, to be honest. With again going back to the 24 numbers of 24, we have an extremely wide variance as far as skill levels, and so it makes it really challenging for Coach Katz and myself to be able to meet the needs of each individual kid. You have some kids that are just now starting. So, I mean, we're literally starting from the very basics of the game with them all the way to so we're working with players that are returning state tournament placers. So it's a huge wide variety, and it's a challenge for us. One thing that we stress to the kids is they have to be patient because it's so individually structured. And they have been really good. I've been really pleased with their work. We've had good range work. We've had good work on the course. We've had good work in the practice areas. So I know they're excited to start to get to play tournaments and kind of see where we're at.
One of the things is that when you go have a little classroom, so to speak, on a bad weather day or so, you talk a little bit about the basics of golf, the rules of golf. Any new rules this year?
No, I wouldn't say really as far as USGA rules. They had some adjustments a couple of years ago. We had a day last Friday where I really felt like we probably could have went to the golf course, but they have to be their own rules people. And so we know there's absolutely no way. We could literally spend days upon end, and I know they hate to hear that, but we could spend days on end going over rules and what if and things like that. So we try to just teach them the basics and tell them, really play the balls of lies, do what makes common sense and go from there. And generally that's will work out for us. But if you ask the players, we've done enough for rules. If you ask the coaches, we haven't even started yet. So it's always a fun thing to bring up rules day to them.
Now that brings us to your first competition, and you got a split squad, so to speak, split. Varsity will be traveling over to Phillipsburg to do the Smith Center Invitational. Your junior varsity going down to Trigo for a golf tournament there. Let's talk about the difference between the varsity, the junior varsity, the formats on that. Let's start off with Smith Center.
Okay, at Smith Center, it is a Smith Center tournament. technically, for the second year in a row, we have to move it to Phillipsburg. From what we've been told, they have some issues with the golf course, so it saves us 30 miles. Both tournaments are going to be the same way. Many times when we play JV tournaments, there isn't necessarily a team division. They just go individual. They are going to have a team element, so both formats are going to be the same at Trigo and Smith Center. We'll take 6 players. They'll just take the 4 lowest scores, add them together, and that will be your team score, as well as obviously an individual competition. It's the way we do it at most tournaments now. The Mel Schrammer tournament and the MCL, I think, are the only ones that we still play what I like to call old school golf, where you have the 2-man, 4-man, 6-man division. So this is just the way, really, it's the way the kids know how we do it. So we'll see how we do.
And just one note there, in some years the junior varsity only played 9 holes. Is that different?
Almost always, almost every tournament, JV will play 9 holes. I know Coach Drees of Plainville will have they will have the JV showcase. It's kind of like their quote-unquote JV state at the end of the season, and that's 18 holes. But every other JV tournament we play will be 9 holes. Varsity is always 18, unless weather for some reason, weather doesn't permit it.
Why don't you kind of give us a lineup of what you're going to do this year, where you're going to go this year? Any changes from your previous years?
Oh, really not a lot. One change that I understand completely that I don't like, I shouldn't say don't like. We've always had the I-70 tournament in the past. That's always been a one-day 36-hole marathon between Ellis and Trigo golf courses. Trigo is no longer part of that tournament, so it's just going to be the Ellis Invitational. Instead of 36 holes, we're going to play 27 holes that day, so that's one change there. Just the way the schedule works out this year, a big change for us, but there's nothing that they could do about it, was the schedule has moved back a week this year. So we will be much later into the month of May this year with our schedule, so hopefully we get to be playing golf much later in May is our goal.
Well, Coach, we're going to wish you best of luck come Tuesday when you travel to Phillipsburg for the Smith Center Invitational with your varsity squad. Your junior varsity will be traveling down to Waukene for that tournament, but we wish you the best of luck. Reporting for KQNK, I'm Fig Millen.
Thank you, Fig and Coach Stover, and good luck to the golfers in their tournaments starting today. Your menu today for Eisenhower Elementary School. For lunch, you'll be having lasagna, tossed salad, peaches, garlic bread, and milk. For Norton Community High School and Junior High, your lunch today will be walking taco or chef salad with fruit and milk. And for Northern Valley Schools, your lunch today will be chili dog, bun, potatoes, vegetable, and fruit. I'm Natalie Hadley. Your KQNK News was brought to you by Firebolt Ag, LLC, farmers helping farmers to succeed. You can contact Firebolt Ag today to get the most out of your farmland. Your KQNK weather forecast is being brought to you by Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, your Norton experts for all of your pest control needs. Your forecast for today, it should be sunny with the high near 80 and a south wind of 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, it should be mostly cloudy during the early evening, then gradually clearing with the low around 46 and a southwest wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming northwest after midnight. On Wednesday, it should be sunny with a high near 75 and a northwest wind of 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. And on Wednesday night, it should be partly cloudy with a low around 40. I'll be back with the rest of your forecast in just a moment.
When you've got bugs, we know what a nuisance that can be.
Lock 'em out. From Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, Lock 'em Out is our very effective residential insect prevention program. We'll come to your place and treat your foundation plus all insect entryways. And while we're there, receive a free termite inspection. Call Mr. Rich Wenzel, our certified technician in Norton, at 785-202-0167. That's 202-0167.
Continuing with your weather forecast, on Thursday it should be sunny with a high near 70 and breezy with wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. On Friday it should be sunny with a high near 76. On Saturday, sunny with a high near 82. On Sunday it should be mostly sunny with a high near 88. And on Monday it should be mostly sunny with a high near 70. Currently, with fair skies, it is 36 degrees. The humidity is 60%. The wind speed is southeast at 10 miles per hour. The barometric pressure is 30. The dew point is 23 degrees. And the current wind chill is 29 degrees. Your weather was brought to you by Hinkle Termite and Pest Control right here in Norton. You can call Hinkle Termite and Pest Control at 785-202-0167 for all of your pest control needs. It is 8:24. It's time for Kansas Sports. That's being brought to you by United Northwest Federal Credit Union, where everything they do for you.
Save more, earn more with the Easy Saver account at the United Northwest Federal Credit Union. Enrollment in this program automatically rounds up the amount of all debit card and share draft purchases made from your checking account to the next whole dollar and deposits into the Easy Saver savings account. Not only will this account help you save, but it also earns 2.01% APY monthly. Special terms and conditions apply. Come in today and open your Easy Saver account at the United Northwest Federal Credit Union, where everything we do for you. NCUA insured.
KIN Sports, I'm Spencer Dupuis. Kansas basketball got 3 rounds of good news over the weekend. The biggest one, though, Flory Badunga intends to withdraw his name from the NCAA transfer portal and return to Kansas. Badunga spent a week in the portal and received strong interest, with Auburn serving as a key contender to land his services. The return of the key big man gives KU another key piece for 2025-2026 roster. The former McDonald's All-American was a reserve big man for the Jayhawks during his first season with the program. He averaged 16.3 minutes per game as a freshman, which was the most a freshman big man has played under Bill Self since Cliff Alexander in the 2014-15 season. On Saturday night, the team landed their second transfer portal commitment as Illinois transfer Trey White announced that he would come to play for the Jayhawks. He averaged 10.5 points per game last season at Illinois. He has 1 season of eligibility remaining. And then on Friday, they got their first commitment. That was from Loyola Chicago star Jaden Dawson. Kansas Information Network Sports, I'm Spencer Dupuis.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Pause for a moment of clean row calm. Brought to you by Storin Corn Herbicide. Preserve this moment of weed-free serenity at StorinWon'tQuit.com or see your Syngenta retailer today. Always read and follow label instructions.
It's true, many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I agree, and I'd like to help. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Philip Eisenhagen. Together we can give your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by our office at 418 East Holm here in Norton or call 877-3373. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.